We are talking about solving systems of equations with substitution. So here's our first system. Our first equation is negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 6. And then our second equation is y equals negative 7x minus 20. I need to solve for an x and a y point that will make both of these equations true. So I'm going to find a point with an x and a y that makes both things true. I'm going to do that with substitution. Substitution basically means I have this value for y. I know that it's equal to negative 7x minus 20. So I'm going to plug it into my black equation here for y. So all of a sudden my equation is going to look like this. Negative 3x plus 2. It would be times y, so I'm going to plug in negative 7x minus 20, and it still equals negative 6. So now I'm going to solve, because if you notice, all I have here are x's, so I can solve this equation. I'm going to multiply my 2 through, use distribution, so I have negative 3x plus negative 14x from 2 times negative 7 minus 40 equals negative 6. I'm going to combine my like terms to get negative 17x, still minus 40 equals negative 6, add 40 on both sides, so then I have negative 17x equals 34. I'm going to go ahead and take that up over here. So I have negative 17x equals 34. I'm going to divide by negative 17. So x will equal negative 2. That's the first part of my answer. So I'm going to put it in for my x equation. All right, so now I need to solve for y. So I'm going to erase some of this. We're going to come back. All right, so for step A, I plugged in to solve for y. Now I know that x equals negative 2, so I'm going to plug it in to my blue equation. I know that y equals negative 7 times x minus 20. So I'm going to plug x in here to find out what my y equals. So y equals negative 7. My x has a value of negative 2 minus 20. So negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14 minus 20. So y equals negative 6. Y equals negative 6. So that is my answer. My answer is that for this equation, x equals negative 2 and y equals negative 6. Let's come over here and check our work really fast. So I want to check it. Should make both equations true. So I have my first equation in black, negative 3, plug in my negative 2 for x, plus 2 times negative 6, and that should equal negative 6. We're getting a little squished. That's all right. So negative 3 times negative 2 gives me a positive 6. 2 plus negative 6 gives me a negative 12, and that equals negative 6. So it works for my first equation. Let's go ahead and try it with my second equation. So I have y equals, and I have negative 7 times my x value of negative 2 minus 20. And of course my x is negative 6. So I should have all this equal to negative 6. So let's see, does negative 6 equal negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14 minus 20. Negative 6 equals negative 6. It works. Awesome. So I did substitution for this equation. I got my answer. It's an ordered point, negative 2, negative 6. And those x, y values make both equations true. So here we have example 2. 4x minus 4y equals 12. And 5x plus y equals negative 21. I want to solve using substitution, so I'm going to have to actually solve to get a variable by itself. If I look at my blue equation, y is all alone. So that's going to be a really good choice. I'm going to solve my blue equation for y, and then I can plug it into my black equation. So to solve for y, I have to subtract 5x on both sides. And then I get y equals negative 5x minus 21. So this is a great place to be. I have it solved for y, so I can plug into my black equation. So I'm going to go over here. The black equation is 4x minus 4y equals 12. I'm going to plug in all of this where my y was. So now it becomes 4x minus 4. I'm going to put in my parentheses, negative 5x minus 21, and that equals 12. Again, notice once I've plugged in that I've just got x's, so I can solve this. Hey! So I distribute my negative 4, and I get 4x plus 20x plus 4 times 21 is 84, and that equals 12. I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms. So I have 24x plus 84 equals 12. I'm going to solve for x, subtract 84 on both sides. 24x equals negative 72. To divide both sides by 24, and I get x equals negative 72 divided by 24 is going to be a negative 3. All right, so here I have my answer for x. So my next step, I'm going to go ahead and label. This was step A. And then for step B, I'm going to plug this in. So I'm going to come back to my blue equation. Y equals negative 5x minus 21. I'm going to take this, plug it in for x. So y equals negative 5 times my x value of negative 3 minus 21. Negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15 minus 21. So y equals negative 6. I always write my answer as an ordered pair, where x equals negative 3 and y equals negative 6. So that was solving two equations by substitution.